You don't need a lot of faith to move a mountain. You just got to use the faith that you already have. You use the faith that you got, and then God shows up, and it's God who moves the mountains for you. But here's what I've discovered in church, is that as Christians, we don't really like to pray about the mountains that we face. What we like to do instead is we like to complain about the mountains. How many of you like complain? That's you. You're like, I just complain. God, do you see this mountain? Oh, this mountain's so big. Oh, this mountain is just in my way. I can't believe it. And you go to work and you complain about your mountain. You come home and you tell your wife all about how big your mountain is, and you're complaining about your mountain to your kids and to your grandkids, and you're complaining about your mountain to your friend or phone. You get on Facebook and you're like, oh, this mountain is in my way. And you make these tweets and posts about how great and how big your mountain is. And instead of praying about your mountain, you complain about your mountain. If that's not you, here's probably what you do. You compare your mountain to others. You say, oh, look at your mountain. You think that's a big mountain, Chris? Oh, you should see my mountain. I got a really big mountain over here. I got 2 mountains, right? There's a whole range of them. There's even more back there. Oh, your mountain? Yeah, my mountain's bigger than yours. Oh my goodness, look at your mountain, Ashley. Wow. Hey, let's go gossip about how big her mountain is. This is what people do in the church, right? You're like, Ashley's mountain is way so much bigger than mine. I got a little baby mountain. She's got a really big mountain, okay? And so we like to compare our mountains to others. We like to complain about our mountain. Or some of you, what you do is you compartmentalize your mountain. If you just ignore it, it doesn't exist. I just tuck my mountain away in a deep corner of my heart, and it's not there. You got a mountain in your life. What are you talking about? I don't have a mountain. You have a mountain. She has a mountain, but not me. What do you see? Don't look at the mountain behind the curtain, right? That's oftentimes what we do. We compartmentalize our mountain, and then all of a sudden we wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, panic, what's wrong with me? Oh, it's the mountain that is sitting next to me. That's what we like to do. Some of you like to compare your mountains to others. Some of you like to complain about your mountain. Some of you compartmentalize your mountain, but Jesus wants us to pray about it. To bring it to God and to stop telling God how big our mountain is and allow God to tell us how big He is compared to the mountains that we face. I want you just to understand how big God is. See, some of you right now, you're not tracking with me. You're like, okay, mountain moving faith, praying to God to move the mountains. Byron, I've heard all of that before, but you don't know what I'm up against. You don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know the mountains that I face. I don't need to know the mountains that you face or how great and how big they are, because I know how great and big our God is. And I know that He can move that mountain for you, whatever it is, because He is bigger. So let me just go on a little rant right now and tell you how big our God is. Genesis 1:1. Okay, in the beginning, God. Let's just stop right there. First verse of the Bible. In the beginning, God. So before there was a beginning, guess what? There was God. God is bigger than the beginning. God is bigger than time and space. God is bigger than matter and energy. God is bigger than the beginning. The book of Revelation, the end says He is the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. He is bigger than the beginning, and whatever you're facing, I can guarantee you, He is bigger than the ending. That's how big our God is. In the beginning, God. He's bigger than the beginning. In the beginning, God, what did He do? He created everything in this world that you touch and taste and feel and smell and your senses and everything that you see. God is bigger than those things. He created all of those things. Colossians tells us that He is the expressed image of the invisible God, that Jesus, by Him, to Him, for Him, through Him, all things were created, and in Him we move and have our being. That's how big our God is, that He created everything that we see in this world. He is bigger than all of those things. Our God is bigger than the heavens. Have you ever seen a sun? God is bigger than that. Have you ever seen a moon? God is bigger than that. Have you ever seen a galaxy? God is bigger than that. Have you ever seen a supernova? God is bigger than that. In fact, the book of Psalms says the earth is His footstool. That's how big our God is. He props His feet up on the planet. That's how big our God is. Our God is big. He is bigger than the heavens. He is bigger than the earth. He is bigger than the trees and the animals. He is bigger than the highest of the mountains and the lowest of the valleys. He is bigger than Mount Everest, and He is bigger than the Marianas Trench. He is bigger than all of those things. And our God is bigger than even the smallest molecule that there is, the ones that even scientists haven't even discovered yet, the atoms and the quarks and all of these different things. Our God is bigger than all of those things. That's how big our God is. Our God is bigger than the heavens. He is bigger than the earth. And here's how big our God is. Our God is so big that he humbled himself and became small. So much so that he was born in a manger, an infant, tender and mild, to a poor teenage girl who was probably scared. And he was born in a manger, in poverty, in obscurity. And Luke 2:52 says, he grew in wisdom and favor and stature with God and others. And as Jesus walked the planet, very God of very God, he loved perfectly. He helped others. He served perfectly. He performed miracles. He cast out demons. He spoke truth. He preached sermons. He walked on water. He resurrected the dead. That's how big our God is. And then he goes into Jerusalem, where he is going to be arrested, tried, crucified. He's going to die the most painful death ever known in human history, the death on a Roman cross. And they're going to take his lifeless body off of that cross, and they're going to bury it in a borrowed grave. And then 3 days later, Jesus beats death. That's how big our God is. Our God is bigger than death. And then he removes the shame and the guilt and the sin in your life, and he gives you freedom. That's how big our God is. Our God is bigger than guilt. Our God is bigger than shame. Our God is bigger than condemnation. Our God is bigger and better than the worst day of your life. That's how big our God is. And then he resurrects and he ascends to the right hand of the Father. And you wonder, where is our great God at right now? Where is our Jesus at right now? What is he doing? Well, if you were to turn to 1 Timothy, what it tells us is this, is that there is one mediator between God and man, and our Lord Jesus is praying for you. That's how big our God is.